Hi everyone! I know we are all so excited about the Regal Radiance Mystery Box and the adorable new Beat Cutie. I love a new color cutie. But let's talk about what's in the box today. So I always go through the box and I think, what's something I don't regularly use, and I challenge myself. So I have not used the textured permanent vinyl in a long time, but I do love it. It's so pretty. So I'm going to use that today. So now the platinum color is kind of, I want to say it's more of like a champagne, so a little bit of a lighter gold. So I'm going to just cut a basic shape out of that. It's permanent and I'm putting it on glass. Now something to keep in mind is you do need strong grip transfer tape. Now I have seen rolls that come with it and I have seen rolls that it doesn't have it in it, so make sure you have strong grip transfer tape before you use this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do first is go over to my images, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. I want this sunflower image. I use this image a lot. It's so pretty, but I'm not going to use it. Actually, I think I'm going to go to 2 different ways to see which I like better, because that sounds like me. Okay, so it's this one. It's a free image, so if you don't have Cricut access, it's free to everyone. So I'm going to just click the plus sign. It's going to add it to my canvas. I can click view here, or I can click the X here to bring me back to my canvas and see that image. Now I am using my Joy Extra today, so I do have that machine set correctly. And in case you are not used to measuring things, I'm going to measure, I want my design about 2, I'm going to push it a little and say 2¼ inches wide. Now this looks like it's skewed a little, so it's not proportionate. So I'm going to just change the width. Now it came in unlocked, which is a little strange, so I'm going to lock that up and then I'll change the width. Okay, so we're going to do 2¼ and then, like I said, I'm going to cut this 2 ways to see which I like best. So I'm going to cut it like this, and then I'm going to go over here and duplicate, and I'm going to click that contour button, and I'm going to just hide all contours so it's a completely solid shape. And I'm going to see which one I like best. So I'm going to click make it. It's going to ask if I'm going to save my project. I'm not. This is a free image and I'm just resizing it real quick, so nothing super special here. I am doing this on a mat, so I'm going to click that and confirm. And I'm going to need a piece of textured vinyl that's about 5 inches wide by 3 inches high. And so I'm going to click continue. I have 2 Cricut Joy Extras, so it's going to search and then I have to select which machine I will be using today. So if you have just one machine, it's going to just pop right up and automatically connect for you, but because I have more than one of the same machine, it has me pick which one I'll be using. So once I do that, then we can search for our material. Now, I believe the textured material should work on the Joy Extra, but I haven't cut it. So I'll click here and I'm going to pick this Joy Extra. I know it shows 3. My daughter has one too, so hers must be on. So I'm going to browse and I'm just going to search textured. If I spell it correctly, then it will show up. There we go. So it's the textured metallic. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to click done. Now, if you have never used the Joy Extra machine, it has like an auto load feature. So you just kind of butt your mat up against the rollers and it just pulls it in, and then you'll click go down here and that will highlight. So we'll go over to my machine and I'll show you guys that. Okay, so I have all of my stuff here. My machine is blinking on the top because it's ready, and I look like I'm out of focus. I think it's just my computer's a little laggy. But I want to show you guys up close. Like, this is so pretty, the texture that this gives. And I'm going to put this, like I said, on glass. So I have already cleaned the glass with rubbing alcohol and a lint-free cloth, and I let it air dry, but you can dry it with a lint-free cloth. If you need a brayer, you can use that to help you adhere your materials to the mat. So I'm going to take my protective cover off my mat, and I'm going to place my material on. And in case you didn't know, it does have green grid lines on the back, which means that it's permanent. So if you have Cricut vinyl that you didn't label, green is permanent, gray is removable. So I don't need my brayer because this laid down perfectly. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to load it in. And then I'll click the go button when it's ready. And I'm going to cut this off camera. It does look like the reflection from the vinyl is causing a little issue with my camera. So I'm going to cut it off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll weed it. Okay, so my cut's done. I'm going to push my machine back. And now I remove all of my materials from my mat the same way. I flip my mat over and I remove the material from the mat. Just careful with your mat because they can break if you bend them too hard. Ask me how I know. I'm going to put my protective cover back on my mat right away. I have cats and they love my craft room, so I put it back on right away. Okay, so I know that my design on the right hand side was the solid one, and then I can see the cut lines if we put it in a certain angle. Oh, you guys can see them really well right there. Okay, so I'm just going to take the vinyl off the outside. Now, however you choose to weed is however you choose to weed. I weed differently depending on my, depending on what I'm doing. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my excess like here. And then as I weed these little bits from the inside, I'm going to just stick them onto here. And that way I can just peel this all off and throw it in the trash when I'm done. So I am going to, I'm trying to get this, okay, on camera without my head in the way, but I can still see. So I do have my bright 360, but if I turn that on, I know it's going to be too bright for you guys to see. And now I do love this solid one here, but I actually think I really like the texture with this cutout. It's still showing enough of the texture where it's really pretty. So this is why I cut both, because I didn't know what I was going to like. Sometimes you don't know until you cut it out and you see it. So don't be afraid to do both. It's never going to hurt. Then you just have an extra decal. Maybe you'll use it for something else one day. Never know. Okay. So I'm just kind of moving it at different angles so that I can see it. It's actually really easy to see. I'm just trying not to get my head in the way and keep it on camera. So that's why I'm moving it the way that I am. But it's actually much easier to see than I thought it would. Obviously you can tell that based on how quickly I'm weeding this, but thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, so I really like the way this one looks. See? I know, it's so metallic-y. Alright, so then this goes right in the trash. And then I'm going to put this on my surface. I have my self-healing mat on my surface that I always keep on here. And I use it to help like with measurements and stuff. So I'm going to try and get, so I kind of line it up evenly with the marks on my mat. That way I can line it up evenly on my design. So it doesn't work for all blinks, but for a lot of them. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this apart. I'm going to set this one aside because I'm sure I'll use it at some point, but this is what I want to use today. I have my strong grip transfer tape. I already cut it down. It's like 2.5 by 2.5. Just slightly bigger than our blank, or I mean than our decal, because I don't like to go too big. I find that that can, I feel because it's so staticky, it can cling to things and then it causes issues. So I'm going to peel off my strong grip transfer tape. If you've never used strong grip, it has a purple grid line and it says strong grip on it. So if you're not sure, you know. And then please remember, strong grip is only for textured glitter or shimmer. It's not for all. It will get stuck on your vinyl and not come off. Okay, I'm trying to angle this. All right, so you're going to burnish from the front, flip it over, and burnish from the back. Now this is for all vinyl, not just this one. And you're going to remove the vinyl backing from the decal. See how easily that comes off? A lot of people don't realize that you shouldn't pull up on it. You should remove it this way. This also helps decrease bubbles. Okay, so now I'm just going to line this up on here and put it down. And I smooth down the middle, and then I push to each side. I go back in with my scraper, but I like to make sure everything is down before I use my scraper. And then you're going to peel it back, but really you're going to peel it like straight back. You don't want to pull up on it. That is another way to create bubbles. So you can see how easily this came off because that strong grip is made for this texture. If you don't have like a compatible one, that strong grip is not coming off. It's bringing everything back up. So you can reuse this. So I'm actually going to save this, and I'll find a paper clip and clip them together. That way I already have a piece that matches. Okay, so I know it's so hard to see pictures. I'll take a picture because it will be so much easier to see. But it's so pretty. All right, if you guys have any questions, let me know.